Have you ever wondered what you'd do if the monster from your childhood nightmares turned out to be real? What if that monster lived just down the street, hidden in plain sight? Today, we're diving deep into the chilling world of the 2024 horror film, Weapons, a story that explores how ordinary people become the last line of defense against an ancient, child-stealing evil. So, grab your popcorn, turn down the lights, and let's unravel this terrifying tale. Our story begins in the deceptively quiet suburban town of Oakhaven. Life seems perfect, with manicured lawns and friendly neighbors. But a shadow hangs over the town, a string of unsolved child disappearances stretching back decades. The police are baffled, and the community is gripped by a quiet, simmering fear. We meet our main character, Sarah, a high school history teacher who has just moved back to her childhood home to care for her ailing father. She's haunted by the memory of her younger brother, Leo, who vanished without a trace 20 years ago. For everyone else, it's a cold case. But for Sarah, the wound has never healed. Soon after her return, another child goes missing. A young boy named Sam, who lives just a few houses down. The town is thrown into a panic, and for Sarah, it's a terrifying case of déjà vu. The circumstances are eerily similar to her brother's disappearance, driven by her past trauma and a desperate need for answers. Sarah starts her own investigation, digging into the town's archives. She uncovers a disturbing pattern. Every 10 years, on the eve of the winter solstice, a child disappears from Oakhaven. The disappearances are always dismissed as runaways or unfortunate accidents, but Sarah knows there's something more sinister at play. Her research leads her to local folklore about a figure known as the Whispering Willow. The legend speaks of a solitary woman who lives deep in the woods, a witch who lures children with sweet whispers and promises of games, only to steal their youth to sustain her own immortality. The townspeople dismiss it as a spooky campfire story, a tale to scare kids into behaving. But Sarah starts to connect the dots. The disappearances always happen near the old Blackwood estate, a decaying mansion on the edge of town that has been abandoned for generations. Or so everyone thinks. As Sarah gets closer to the truth, she starts experiencing strange phenomena. She hears faint whispers on the wind, a child's laughter just outside her window at night, and sees fleeting shadows in her peripheral vision. She feels like she's being watched. Her search for allies leads her to two unlikely partners. First is David, the town's cynical, burnt-out deputy sheriff. He was a rookie when Sarah's brother disappeared and has carried the guilt of that unsolved case his whole career. Initially skeptical, he can't ignore the new evidence Sarah uncovers. The second is Mr. Allister, the town's elderly librarian and historian. He has a walk-in encyclopedia of Oakhaven's dark past and the keeper of secrets the town would rather forget. He confirms that the legend of the Whispering Willow is more than just a myth. He reveals that his own sister was taken by the witch when they were children. Allister explains the witch's nature. Her real name is Alara, and she was once a grieving mother who made a dark pact centuries ago to bring her own child back from the dead. The ritual went wrong, twisting her into a monstrous being who now craves the life force of children to maintain her existence. She can't enter homes uninvited, so she uses psychological manipulation, mimicking the voices of loved ones and creating illusions to lure her victims out. Her power is strongest on the winter solstice, the night she performs her ritual to consume the child's essence. This year, little Sam is her chosen victim. The trio realizes they are in a race against time. The winter solstice is just 2 days away. They know the police won't believe their supernatural story. They are on their own. Allister provides them with a crucial piece of information from an ancient text. The witch's power is tied to a personal object from her life as a human, a locket containing a portrait of her lost child. This is her anchor to the mortal world and her only weakness. If they can find and destroy it, they can break her power and make her vulnerable. They deduce that the locket must be hidden somewhere within her lair, the Blackwood estate. The movie's title, Weapons, becomes clear. It's not about guns or knives. Their weapons are knowledge, courage, and their shared history of loss. The film's third act is a full-blown descent into horror as Sarah, David, and Allister decide to infiltrate the witch's mansion. The Blackwood estate is a character in itself, a labyrinth of decaying hallways, cobweb-draped rooms, and a chilling silence that is far from empty. As they move through the house, the witch torments them with their deepest fears and regrets. David is confronted by visions of all the missing children he failed to find, There are ghostly voices accusing him. Sarah is haunted by the image of her lost brother, Leo, who appears before her, begging her to join him, trying to lure her into a trap. It's a brutal psychological assault, designed to break them before they can even reach her. Alistair uses his knowledge of ancient symbols to guide them through the mansion's supernatural defenses, creating temporary safe zones from the witch's influence. Meanwhile, David uses his police training to navigate the physical dangers of the crumbling structure. But it's Sarah who leads the charge, her determination fueled by a fierce, protective rage. She refuses to let another child suffer the same fate as her brother. They finally find the witch's sanctum in the mansion's deepest cellar. It's a horrifying scene. The room is filled with stolen toys and clothing from her victims over the decades, a grim museum of sorrow. In the center of the room is an altar where the witch Ilara is preparing for her ritual. Little Sam is trapped in a mystical cage, his energy slowly being drained. The witch reveals her true form, a horrifying figure that is part human, part gnarled wood, her voice a chorus of stolen children's whispers. A desperate fight ensues, while David and Alistair create a diversion, fighting off shadowy manifestations conjured by the witch. Sarah frantically searches for the locket. The witch is too powerful. Easily tossing the men aside, she turns her attention to Sarah, cornering her and whispering promises of reuniting her with Leo if she just gives up. For a moment, Sarah hesitates, the temptation almost overwhelming, but then she sees Sam's terrified face, and her resolve hardens. She spots at the locket, not on the witch, but clutched in the hand of a desiccated, mummified corpse, seated in a dark corner of the room. It's the body of Ilara's original child, the source of her eternal grief and power. As the witch lunges, Sarah makes a desperate dive, grabbing the locket. Ilara screams in rage, a sound that shakes the very foundations of the house. Sarah smashes the locket under her heel. The moment it breaks, the witch shrieks, and her power shatters. The illusions fade, the ghostly whispers cease, and her form begins to rapidly decay. The stolen life force she has hoarded for centuries violently leaves her body. With one final, agonized cry, she crumbles into dust and dead leaves. The mystical cage around Sam dissolves, and Sarah rushes to him. David and Alistair, bruised but alive, help them escape the mansion as it begins to collapse in on itself, burying its dark history forever. In the film's closing scenes, Sam is safely returned to his parents. David, no longer a cynic, has found a new purpose. Alistair has finally found peace, knowing the monster that took his sister is gone. And Sarah, standing before her brother's old photograph, finally feels a sense of closure. She didn't get to save Leo, but she saved Sam, and in doing so, she broke the town's vicious cycle of grief. The final shot shows a dusting of fresh, pure snow beginning to fall over Oak Haven, signaling a new, clean start. Weapons is a fantastic horror movie because it's not just about a monster. It's about the scars that loss leaves on a community and the extraordinary strength that ordinary people can find when they unite against the darkness. What did you guys think of the movie? Let me know your favorite moments in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content. See you in the next video.